All right. Let's get started. Okay. Okay. First attempt in quite a while. Actually, I probably hold on. I need to change a couple of settings because I think I've been messing around with the sound a little bit, and I think I probably want my music a little bit lower. That's what I want to do. And then cool. Okay. Hopefully that sounds okay on your end. And okay, cool. Guess we should start our timer, shouldn't we? Yeah, okay, so first attempt in quite a while since before the winter break. Or, I mean, the winter break, what does that even mean? Before I went home for the holidays for a little bit. My last no-hit attempt was definitely my... Well, actually, no, my last attempt, no-hit attempt, I accidentally turned on repeat last action when I was fighting against the Giant Tree Sentinel, and so I just, like, wasted 40 minutes, because obviously that makes the run invalid to have repeat last action on to the first boss. And so that was kind of a shame. But the last attempt before that did pretty well. It got to Malekith, and then I essentially just hit the wrong input on the Ash of War that I was supposed to use at the end of the first phase, or the beginning of the second phase. And instead of, like, resetting, which is definitely what I should have done, although there's some debate about whether I should be doing that or not. I just completely messed up and tried to fight him straight up, essentially, which was a mistake. So hopefully I've kind of learned my mistake this time. Learned from my mistake, rather. And I'm not going to do that again. And hit the right input, obviously, but also even if I don't, you know, do something different at that point. All right. Let's get this run properly on its way. As per usual, start with around 40 minutes of setup before we fight DTS, or I should say cheese DTS. And then another 10 minutes or so after that, where we had to do some more setup.
Like
Got our first smithing stones.
I am calling.
We want 3 cracked pots, crafting kit. I kind of expect this attempt to not be great, just because I haven't, you know, tried this in a few weeks, 3 to 4 weeks or something. So this is probably mostly going to be like a rush back up on the basics. We'll see how far I get. If I get reasonably far, maybe I'll go through the whole attempt. Like, let's say maybe if I get to Fire Giant or something, I'll finish it out. And otherwise, I guess I'll restart if I mess up. Probably don't have time for more than 2 attempts or so today, but we'll see. 2 full attempts, I guess, is the key. So obviously I could die much earlier than that, and then I have time for plenty of attempts.
They serve, but I can play the.
All right, let's get our wheels.
To aid you. You need to the foot. Then it's summon me. I bequeath. Use it. It will summon Torrent. Treat him with respect.
Oops. Ah, shoot. Okay. There's our first weapon for this run. Oops. The flail. If I can pick it up. The flail. So we can kill Blackguard, cheese Blackguard. Just to run over here to get whetstone and so on. Grab that golden seed, grab these smithing stone ones, and we're just gonna grab this grace for a little bit later. So we can make our way to Liurnia a little bit faster. Cut out a running section. And yeah, now we just start collecting stuff. Our long arc through Limgrave to culminates in the first half of the Dectus Medallion. Starts with the Strength Knot tier from here. Grab this grace. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Next up, Golden Vow, which we grabbed from this guy up here. 2 unsheath R2s. Kills the horse, and then the riposte gets rid of the dude.
Hello? Can you hear me? Help me. I'm stuck.
Avoid this guy, and grab these smithing stone ones, and buy a few more from this guy,
Oh, can I...
Are you here as a customer?
as well as this cracked pot. I wonder how frequent the rain of Earth Tree leaves is. Because of like half the time when I start up a run, I run into some rain, either here or a little bit further on. And then up here, we grab some runes as well as the. Oops, usually a little bit more smoothly. The recipe for the book, for the sleeping pots. And some more, probably unnecessary runes. But, meh, might as well.
Is anybody there? Someone who might be interested in rescuing the great Kenneth Haight, servant to the True Order and celebrated Repudius.
Grab that Sacred Tier, grab this, our Wondrous Physic. And we're off to the, Strength, Talisman and the Charge Attack, or sorry, the Charge Attack Talisman as well as the Charge Attack, tier. Oops. Don't get stuck in the trees, though. And here we are. Spiked Cracked Tier, which is the tier we're basically going to use for the entire run. And then over here, crouch through this little section, grab these lilies. That's just to not aggro the rune bear. Grab our Axe Talisman. And then head east to the right of these rocks and aim for that smoke. Which is where we're grabbing our
Well, are you please? I'm hungry.
final smithing stone ones. Stick around here. Because it's night, which is very important for a lot of this run, we switch it, obviously it gets switched to night when we first talk to, when we first get our, what's it called? The steed, Spectral Steed, Torrent. Hello, how's it going? Alright, so get rid of this guy. Treebeard 1, good name. Then we want to get rid of this guy. And we basically don't want to aggro anybody else, and as soon as that guy pops up... Sorry dude, no can do. Hey Arena, how's it going? So that guy pops up, we head up towards here and grab the first half of the Dectus Medallion, and that concludes our little adventure through Limgrave for now. Alright. Off to Caelid. Oops, where am I going? Grab these spirit strings. Spirit springs, not strings. Grab this grace for later when we're getting the Flame Getting Strength. And for now we heading towards that shack up there to grab the Beast Repelling Torch. Yeah, I enjoy it. Streaming. Having some fun. First stream since before the holidays. Alright, when we head on the left over here, we avoid to aggro everybody, except for one mystery enemy who always aggroes for some reason, but it's not a problem. They never actually chase you. I wonder if it's like the Rune Bear or something that's down there in that valley. Or like whatever is in that valley when you come up from the underground. Alright, and then hang a right here, to the left of these over here. And then, it doesn't super matter, I usually just go this way and this guy won't see you, even if you're like, kind of feels like he should. But yeah, if you just kind of head in between these two, the road and those piles of whatever makes up Caelid, then you're good.
Well, there's been an age. How can I?
Okay, let's sell all of the runes that I've acquired so far, and buy this. Is it always raining in Dragon Barrow? It feels as if it kind of is. Or is it just every time that, like the first time that you visit it or something? No, it's definitely not always raining. Maybe in this specific section? I don't know. I feel as if it's more frequently raining in this region than elsewhere, or I notice it more frequently. Alright, we want to equip that torch. And also, grab this, and then smack a couple times right here. That attracts the enemies inside. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then crouch around here with the torch out, and then to the left, see those guys are attracted. And then, yeah, we're good. Just climb up the ladder. Grab a second Dectus half. We are good. I mean, we're not good quite yet. We need to get the Radgon's Scar Seal. Grab this rune. And we are off. Now we're done with Caelid for a little bit. Not for the rest of the setup, but for a little bit at least. Next step is getting our weapon, going through Liurnia, getting some upgrades, and finally heading up to Altus and killing DTS. And that is going to take another 20 minutes or so before we get to DTS. I probably should have grabbed that mushroom, but probably doesn't matter actually. Yeah, there's always plenty of mushrooms on the path no matter where I get them. Ooh! Grab our first smithing stone twos from this dude.
You're unsurprised no matter. Why don't you? Oh, but don't.
Oops. Walked a little bit far away.
Every
Alright, and yeah, we have our 12 smithing stone ones already, so we don't need any more for him. And stick around to the left here, through these guys. They're not really a problem ever. I think their projectiles are slower than Tora is. I usually I end up seeing this guy, this little island, and then just aim to the right a little bit and get, you're aiming really for this island eventually, just to go over it and then head west-northwest. Or northwest-north, rather. North-northwest? I never remember what the actual right order of this is. Okay, so we want this guy so we can wield the flail, and we want this. And then set up a very honorable fight by aiming like so. You keep walking forward, and sorry, pal. Grab this grace. We're off to see Raya.
Hello. Hello.
Ooh, I should put away this, because for some reason it always...
Over here.
Okay, perfect.
It's rather my mistress.
Always
said all the
aggroes
time,
her,
but could I ask
'cause
that
the little,
thug
like,
need only if you've any. Oh,
jingly ball at the end of the flail.
Thug, Shalice.
Like, if you just like walk towards her, it seems like it
Please.
aggroes.
Oh, thank you. Did I forget?
And you waste a bunch of time waiting for her to
study such strength,
stop thinking that
please.
you're actually attacking her. Okay, I've only lost a run once in this next spot, but I've nearly lost a run many times, I feel like. I like never messed it up at the beginning. Like it was super easy whenever I first started, but then since then, these lobsters have just kind of like sometimes just aggro them. I don't really know why, but it's been fine. I'm gonna wait for this guy to turn around to be a little bit more conservative. And yeah, perfect. And then I'm gonna steer well clear of this guy, which is usually the one who aggroes. And yeah, totally fine this time. Perfect. Okay. And then steer well clear of this guy too. Lovely. Okay. And then we're heading this way-ish, to the left of this, like, west-ish, I guess. Around the, chapel with the Sanguine Noble that jumps out at you. And towards those giant lion squids, the shrine that's by them. Should probably just keep this out. Probably good practice, just prevent things from aggroing to you. Pick up some more smithing stones. Try not to draw aggro from these guys. Not a huge deal if you do, but kind of a pain. Yeah, see, I did draw aggro, but It's fine. As long as you just run away. And as long as they're no longer aggroed up here, because you want to be able to fast travel out of the from the dragon. Swerve around to the right. Pick this up and then immediately fast travel. Cool. Very chill. And then, again, I've never lost a run to this, but it feels a little bit sketchy. We're aiming for that shrine, that final shrine where we get our last smithing stones. And the giant flower that's like just to the left of the shrine right there often will just aggro, and I think what I've learned is the best way to deal with it is just run in crouched, like jump both of these crouched, and then before it has time to actually aggro, run back over here, crouch, and then you're fine from these guys. And then, yeah, totally fine. It doesn't actually, like, it's aggroed, but it loses its aggro extremely fast, as you can see. Like, now I can easily fast travel out to back to the boiled prawn shack. So it's super chill. And then grab these guys, these Trina's lilies, and head straight north. And actually, yeah, okay, never mind, we're fine. Grab a more than unlikely golden seed that I can't help getting for some reason, even though it's totally useless. I hardly ever use more than like one drink or 2 drinks in one running section or one fight or anything. Circumvent all these guys. And over here. We are pretty much done with Liurnia. Just have to get to the lift. And then we're fine. Alright, and here we just stick to the left. To avoid the aggro of all these knights, or whatever there are. Knights of Liurnia. Grab that Sacred Tear, and then, yeah, as long as we stay to the left up here, the trebuchets won't aggro. We don't get smacked by some rock. And then, conveniently up here is a rune arc, which we use. Oops. Ooh, I've aggroed these guys somehow? Totally fine, surely. Okay, cool. Missed the rune arc, aggroed all of the bugs and such, or the rams. Slash the bug. 0 out of 10, but it was fine. Didn't get hit. I don't need this grace. I need the grace after. Left. Run on over here. Grab this grace for a host of other things later. Like finishing Raya's quest, or progressing to Volcano Manor, I guess. As well as killing Gillica. And off this way. Yeah, and we're done with Liurnia for the entire run. We don't set foot in there again. And then charge on up through here. Through these two guys. Grab some more unnecessary golden seeds. I guess I just get them because they're literally... They add 0 time. Except, I guess they add like 10 seconds when I also upgrade them fully. Upgrade my flask fully. Or add the number of flasks charges or whatever fully. Alright, crouch through here, make a running jump through here. Should probably two-hand this. Unsheath R2, and then take the riposte. No one's the wiser. Grab this. And just make our way out, staying kind of to the right of this guy. Yeah, and he aggroes, but way too slow to make any difference. Now we are officially done with, well, all but the final running section of this first leg. Yeah, stick to the right up here so that the gargoyle when, or stick to the right, I guess. When this gargoyle comes in, he doesn't aggro to us again. And we're fully clear. Grab this rune, as well as these mushrooms up here. Let's bunch. I'm gonna get 8 or something from here. Yeah. All right, and the final time, our final kind of area of danger before DTS is these golems up there. Who can aggro to you and fire on you without really a moment's notice. Yeah, see, he's aggro to me, or he's targeting me, which is weird. You know, yeah, it's I'm not sure when he does aggro to me, or target you, or doesn't target you, but yeah, definitely targeting me up there. Alright, jump up here, make sure nobody's... That guy's not aggroed, nor is that guy. Maybe it was that guy, because look, he has an arrow directly in front of him. Like... Well, it's despawned now, but I swear there was an arrow, like, stuck in the ground directly in front of him. Really interesting. Doesn't really matter, but... kind of weird. Take a nice long arc around here. And yeah, okay, we are done with this section, so let me upgrade the counter. Cool. Make sure I don't have repeat last action on. Okay, and then... Oh, I need to switch to... Here. Okay, cool. We don't want that. We want those. We don't want this. We want kukris. Oops. Well, that sucks. That doesn't really matter, but kind of dumb of me. Okay, and then we are gonna have our mouse and keyboard handy, and then walk up to around here, where he starts turning towards me, and then as soon as he starts walking, pretty much just maintain this distance. I think it's like the max tracking distance. And then as soon as he passes right about that birch, run off, go up to this guy, and then cool. Perfect. Throw vaguely around there somewhere, and then aim for this little vertical line on that rock. And then really high and to the left on this little guy. Perfect. Turn towards me there. That's totally fine. Nothing to worry about as long as he's not actually aggroed and follows that second kukri. And then before he has a chance to turn, perfect. I messed that up. I was trying to do an Unsheath R1 after those 2 Unsheath R2s, but instead did 2 normal R1s. But, yeah, I knew that just doing a normal charged R2 would be enough to stagger him anyway. Oops. Cool. Let's make sure I didn't actually... Cool. Okay, and then guess let's just go here now. Normally I would go to round table immediately. I'm just gonna try running over to grab this Grace up by the fort now. And drop down here. And cool, now we're all set up for this whole section.
To determine if you had. It seems torrent, whereas there is, but I can.
I'm gonna grab water while I'm.
Let my hand rest upon you for but a moment.
Alright. That's that. Okay, cool. And now, there's a few things we want to do. Obviously, we're done with the Uchi for the run. We want to buy... We'll offer this bell bearing. Buy 12 threes, 12 fours. We want this dagger. We want this rapier. We want this seal. That's all. Next. I'll make sure I still have, yeah, cool. I have those runes, so I'm fine with that. And then we wanna upgrade iron balls, which is gonna be our main weapon for this entire run. Cool. Okay. I guess now we can just move on to here. Cool, okay, first of all, so we don't forget, let's pass the time. And then, let's level up. We want 15 faith. Then we just level that up as much as we can, and then add charges to flask. And yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I'm just adding like, probably 5 seconds unnecessarily. Okay. And because it's night, we can stealth bast not only these guys up here, including the archer up there, but also the chariots, so that we can simply get Flame Grant Me Strength, which is why we leveled up our Faith to 15. Ooh, that was interesting. I guess I went inside the bounds of the castle. Alright, and for this part, I just crouch and then walk into the wall. Nice and slow. Cool. That's that. And then over to the shack so we can kill our guy. Okay. So, Ashes of War, we want our dagger to have that. We want to mix our Wondrous Physics, so we have a Strength Knot tier, as well as our Spiked Crack tier. We want to memorize Flame Grant Me Strength. Walk way over here. We want to equip that. We want to equip that. We want to equip that. And then charge attack. Feels like I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah. And then that can do that. Okay. So Golden Vow. Flame Grant Me Strength. Drink. Two-hand our balls. Right behind him. Charge R2. Charge R2.
You are an enigma,
And GG's.
to be certain. Kano Manor.
And over to this boy. And talk to Raya.
I hereby invite. Take my hand. Give me your hand. I will.
And we're off to Volcano Manor.
Brave. I am Tanit. Rias, a warrior, perhaps. Will you do I accept? Rise
Talk to
without-
her.
Enter now, you
Join
will. The
Volcano
drawing room
Manor.
will not be short.
And then back to the label Lost Grace, where we can get our Assassin's Gambit, which is our stealth method for this entire run. Oh, I need to use this. Sweet. Bellbearing Shop. And then where do I go from here? All right, from here. And now we are off to fight Patches. And I guess we will equip the Assassin's Gambit. Oh wait, actually first, before I do that, I usually... Oh, it doesn't really matter because we do quite enough damage to Patches to really make a difference. But I usually get Cragblade, oops, before doing any of that. So we're back here. Okay, that wasn't the archer that aggroed to us. If it was, then we were in some trouble. Okay. Assassin's Gambit. Hey, how many did I use? Okay, we're good. Okay. Reapply. Okay, well. Let's wait for that guy to de-aggro, maybe? I must have waited just too long. Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's reapply Assassin's Gambit. Yeah, they're the, to be clear, the lion that's down the fort aggroed apparently because I waited a little too long for reapplying my Assassin's Gambit, and so he saw me. Crouch. Run through here. We still want to make sure that it's night when we do this running section, even though we have Assassin's Gambit. crouch right in between them. Apply, crouch. Sweet, and then up this ladder. All right, now we're all set up to come to Radahn, as well as get our Cracked Blade Asher 4 up here. Let's grab this Grace for later. Make sure to apply Assassin's Gambit. Then I make it so that the Scarab goes there. Okay, and then now we go to Gatefront to get to Patches. And we're off again. Yeah, so from Patches, obviously, we get the Margit's Shackle. And that's the last piece of the puzzle we need before we properly start fighting bosses. Touch this Grace, because later we come back here so we can get to the, what's it called? Blue Dancer Charm. Okay, and then just walk over here, walk to the right over here, then, yeah, we take a little damage from drop, but it's not a huge amount. Okay, and then run around to over here. You can see that we can't, because we can't get on Torrent, we can tell that we've been we've aggroed the invader, and then Nerejuice is gonna whatever it is called, it's gonna come in, and then as soon as he came in, we ran away, and so he got sent back to his world, and we are safe to enter the cave. Okay. Now through here. Just Gambit. Stick to the right. And then enter the boss fight. Oh. This is surely fine. I forgot to put Crackblade on, but there's no way that, like, it's surely fine.
Well, just help yourself to a man's personal love. You the gods demand repentance. Cough up your coin.
And then, cool, we're just waiting for this attack. Okay, so it's not quite fast enough, so we need to wait for him to do that attack again. Preferably when he hasn't immediately done it again. Okay, so it's not quite enough damage. So that's the difference between Crackblade and not doing Crackblade. I was actually kind of lucky because
Wait, please.
if he had followed up that attack with something else, then we'd be kind of screwed instead of rolling away. So yeah, good to know that I can easily do this with Obviously, I can very easily do this without Cragblade, but it's slightly more efficient to do it with Cragblade. Where am I going? Right. We're gonna grab the shackle up here now. Offer bell bearing, offer patches. Purchase the shackle. Okay, and oh wait, I can do that. Cool. Now we are back here, and we're finally ready to start fighting some bosses. Very cool. Yeah, and I pretty much I pick up that mushroom. I just pick up whatever mushroom I see on route on the ground. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, Assassin's Gambit. You end up with plenty of mushrooms. Plenty enough mushrooms that it does not matter. Okay, run through here. I think I aggroed one of those guards. I saw him getting up. Probably have to be a little bit careful because he probably has a crossbow, so it could easily have just fucked me up. But this is surely fine. Okay. Just gonna add another level of strength here, and then Ashes of War. Yeah. So we should have done that earlier. Yeah, because it also has this heavy affinity, so definitely worth throwing on. Okay. I think that's everything I need then. Okay. So, I guess I get rid of that just for cleanliness. Okay. Golden Vow. Cragblade. Drink. Flame grant me strength. Drink. Then start the fight. Gotta make sure that obviously Margit's Shackle is. And charge R2, charge R2, charge R2, and take the riposte, and then that's Margit. Very easy script. Very chill script.
I shall remember thee, tarnished, smouldering with thy meager flame. Cower in fear of the night. The hands of the fell omen shall brook thee no. It's tightly cooked. The gods that you breach.
Alright, now I'll use the main gate. Okay, let's level up here, I guess. And then make sure we have a rapier, and I guess I'll just get rid of those things because they're not necessary for now. While I remember, I'll throw on this guy. Okay. Once again, very important that it is night here. Otherwise, this strat does not work. So if somehow you've wasted time, make sure to change the night. Okay. We apply Assassin's Gambit and then just keep going. Run through here. Steer well clear of the lion. Grab Disgrace. Okay, and now we want to make sure we have everything. So we need that. We need this. We need these. Let's make sure that those are activated, and that's all I need. Okay, so this part is kind of tricky. Assassin's Gambit. Run to the right. Crouch through here. Apply Assassin's Gambit. Crouch through up to this little tree thing. Reapply Assassin's Gambit. And then very quickly, two-hand, switch to mouse and keyboard. Kukri over here. Kukri over here. And then run over here. Duck into here. Listen for that. Switch to that. Kill him. And then Assassin's Gambit one more. And we're clear. Okay, cool. That was easy. And then just walk this way. Through here. Cool, and that's that. Yeah, once you get it, it's not too hard, but there's a lot of kind of quickly moving parts. All right, got that. Oh, you know what I should do? I'm going to... Yeah, I'll do that up there, I guess. I need to switch my flasks so I have more blue flasks. Alright. Assassin's Gambit one more. Stick to the left. And yeah, I'm just gonna take this time to just reallocate my flasks because I kind of messed that up a little bit. Oops. Yeah, I'll just do 4 and 4. It doesn't really matter. As long as I have more than like 2, I feel pretty comfortable. Okay, so we don't want that. We don't want that. We want instead the dagger as well as the seal. And don't need those anymore. That's the correct flask. Okay. This boss is pretty hard. When I say that, it means it's one of the few bosses where you actually have to fight him. So, Golden Vow, Crackblade, big drink, walk through. Flame grant me strength, Wondrous Physic. Last kind of unfortunate. What is going on? Okay. That was really weird. Wow, what am I doing? That was super weird. Okay. Oh man. This is so scuffed. I really messed up some stuff over here. So, not the cleanest fight I've ever done. In fact, some might say, perhaps the most scuffed fight I've ever done. This is supposed to go way cleaner, and I probably should have reset at some point, but oh well. Yeah, usually, obviously you're supposed to take that riposte, and he should have been dead. After I take that riposte, he should have been dead pretty much immediately. But that's fine. These kind of things are always going to come up in this kind of run. And yeah, like I said, not really expecting it to get it today because I haven't tried it in a while. Especially not in this first run, this first attempt. So yeah, it's the kind of thing that obviously once I'm a little bit more back in my groove, I probably won't completely mess up like I just did there. That being said, obviously I didn't get hit, but not in the way that I would like to. I've done that, obviously. Reapply right here. Wait for this guy to shoot, and then just waltz on by him. All right, and up here we're activating the Godric's Great Rune, which is the one that we're going to be using for the entire run because it adds 5 levels to everything. All right, let's use Godric's Remembrance. Okay. And yeah, before I forget, I'm gonna also go and get the Rogers Rapier, which we use exclusively for Malekith. I've never noticed that it turns with you. That's kind of neat.
Pleased to meet you. The name's Roger, but now I'm in the... I had a little miss, as you might guess. Oh, I'm privy to it. Would you care to learn? Time can move a little conversation. Ah, well done. Something to mark.
Sweet. Up to Altus Plateau. Great runes, activate that. Level up our... Ooh, that's not what we want to do. And then use our Rune Arc. Alright, and off to Gillica. Alright, Golden Vow. Crack Blade. Flame Got Me Strength. Drink. 2 hands, and then run up. Aim towards this left knee. Charge R2, go forward a little bit. Another charge R2, and another charge R2. And that's Gilliga's taken care of. Maybe one of the more scripted bosses in this run. Okay, and that's the second talisman we use most often now. Yeah. Grab that. Oops. All right. Rest here. Level up. And yeah, it's everything we need. Cool.
Champions! Well,
Oh, and hold on.
stars have aligned. The festival is
There you go.
nigh. General Radon,
Cool.
mightiest demigod of the
Had to progress the
awaits
splits.
you. Champions! The festival.
Alright, Radon is probably the battle that is, I don't know. I've definitely is the one that I have memory of braced out rather. Not to say that's the hardest, but I definitely two openings that he does I find extremely easy, and then one I do not. And it's kind of up to that whether or not I end up resetting. Well, I do like this boss fight. Okay. Enter this boss, and then as soon as we are in, we start going backwards as fast as possible on the horse. Until we deload, or we, I don't know if it's deload him, but we get out of range of his render distance. And walk back in. Let's just get rid of that. Golden Vow. Crack Blade. Flame grant me strength. Drink. Drink. Two hand our second guy. Okay. Then charge R2. Charge R2. Get behind this guy's leg. Directly behind him. Okay, that was very clean. Yeah, that opening is definitely the easiest for me, because you get so many hits off. Very clean. And Goldfree is probably the boss that I feel the least confident on, which is very weird because it's the exact same thing as Godfrey, but just like, I don't know, for some reason I just like get more psyched out on him for some reason. I guess it's a longer fight because we do less damage, but still, you'd expect... I guess the other difference is that Godfrey has more kind of scripted attacks, where he's gonna do the giant, like, ground slam, and he's gonna do the giant whatever other attack. And his, yeah, the like, huge explosion, and then the ground slam. Yeah. Alright, after Radon, it's important to remember to come here and grab the
Fine. You have earned
second,
to become
or the
the
third talisman pouch. Alright, now to Capital Rampart. Let's upgrade here so that Melina doesn't talk to us. Perfect. And while we're at it, I'll just throw this guy on. And oops, we want this back up. Grab this grace for later. And then I believe this Assassin's Gambit is totally cosmetic, as I'm pretty sure they just see you anyway and aggro to you anyway. Are they always aggro to you? I don't know if it's changed at all by the fact that I have Assassin's Gambit on. Like, is it slower or something? Don't know. Anyway, yeah, do that. Gotta run around. Got this rune. Hop on down here. Voila. Reapply Gambit. And hug to the right here. Hey, how's it going, dude? Let's coming through. Hop around here, and then... Sweet, down here. Cool. Giant looks pretty cool. How's your, how were your holidays, dude? Oops. Stat. Oops. Good to remember probably that there's a guy there with aggro. Oh my god, what am I doing? Yeah, my holidays are also really nice. I just went up to my parents' place. Man, I'm just not pressing the input button. Let's try to... Should probably reset this point, this section, but I'm not going to. There you go. Very weird. Perfect. Okay. And then for this jump, I'm just aiming right here. And of course I missed it. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna reset and... Fine, whatever. Ugh, so stupid. That's the first time I've ever messed up that little section. Probably doesn't make a big difference if I've done that already. Voice is a little low. Alright, sounds good. Cool. Okay, I'm just gonna switch to... Oh, that's so annoying though, because now she's gonna talk to me. Please don't talk to me. Yeah, well. And this area is cool. Or the area where I messed up was pretty cool. Even though I messed up on it. Very random. Okay, I don't care. Goodbye. Okay, last time until nightfall. Well, I've never... There's new ways to mess up in every attempt, I guess. No, I didn't get hit. I just, like, messed up a little running section and then was just in a slightly awkward space and had aggroed a few enemies. And so decided to just, like, reset and Memory of Grace out of there. Unclear if it's worth it, but it's probably worth it. Because I actually don't know how I would have gotten back up to the normal section. If I didn't do this, but kind of a shame to lose 12k runes or whatever, but it's really not the end of the world, especially, yeah, I'm not dying for that damage. I'm already doing plenty of damage, so I don't really need all that many runes. Yeah, I just missed, like, I don't know, I must just not be sprinting properly for some reason. I was just incorrectly pushing the buttons, so to speak. Alright. This time, let's not do that. Okay. Perfect. And then, yeah, I'm aiming for this little thing, and then, yeah, that's how it's supposed to go. Okay. Yeah, so I just aim for that little spike and sprint up to it and then change direction towards the where I jumped onto. Whatever, not a big deal. But yeah, again, because it's been like 3 or 4 weeks since I've played Elden Ring or whatever. I've been at home and stuff, or at my parents' place, I guess. I am a little rusty. And it's I guess it's pretty nice that even though I'm this rusty, I've gotten this far without getting hit. Assassin's Gambit. Yeah, exactly. Crouch around here and then stay as far right as possible to avoid the guy that you can hear behind me. And then run through. Cool. Yes, let's reapply Assassin's Gambit right here. Don't want that gargoyle aggroed to us, obviously. That would be suboptimal. Let's go again here. Steer left. Jump through here. And steer right over here. That way that guy on the right doesn't aggro. Even if... yeah, he's up, but he's not aggroed. And just run behind all these guys. Alright, yeah, and like I said earlier, Goldfree is definitely like a tricky boss for me. Make sure that's cool. That's activated. Cragblade. Playing Gaming Strength. Drink. Then spawn him in. Okay. That's why. Oh, you idiot. Huge bummer. Do I wanna... I'll just finish this guy off, but... I was way too close to jump that attack. Okay. I guess I'll... maybe I'll do just the golem, and then I'll reset. Yeah, I was way too close to that stomp attack. I should have realized. I, like, had the thought as he was lifting up his foot that I was a little too close, but what can you do? I mean, what you can do is not mess up the split. But c'est la vie. Alright, well, an hour and a half down the drain, but that's the life of running. I guess I want this guy. All right. Yeah, so useful to do this. Oops. Just so that I can remember how this works. So I go over here and then, yeah, okay. And then let's remember this little section. And then just sprint off here. And then jump down here. All right. Cool. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna take just like 5 minutes. Real quick. Let's see. Properties. I guess. Cool. Be right back. Alright, so we're back. And I'm gonna switch up the tunes. Yeah, I'll just throw this on. All right, brand new attempts. Oh, I should restart that. Oops. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, let's start our timer up. And cool. There were a few things that were pretty scuffed in that last attempt. Most notably, obviously, the Godric rather. Which is to be expecting after being a little bit rusty. Probably do one more attempt today and then call it, and then try again tomorrow. So take off all the things I don't need. Oops. Okay. Let's just jump off here. All right. Start just setting up some of our stuff. This is where usually I put what I put in my pouches, how I orient them, and usually torrent at the top pouch slot. Yeah, no worries, dude. Appreciate you being there. This is... Feel free to, not pay attention for the next 50 minutes or whatever before I start actually doing real shit. Or feel free to not pay attention at all. But yeah, the next 50 minutes are probably going to be, once again, the less interesting parts, as I'm just kind of running through the entire map laboriously. Oh, oops, my music stopped. What's going on here? Okay. Skip this. Cool. Okay.
You're tarnished, and I can also see that you're not. Then why not purchase?
I don't know, dude. I think that you should probably neglect your children in order to watch a random random Twitch no-hit attempt of Elden Ring. Get your priorities straight. Yeah, dude, I'm sure. I'm sure it's pretty... It can get a lot. Luckily, you have my dulcet tones to bring you back to reality. And the dulcet tones of Animal Collective here. Alright, let's get our ride.
Have you? They serve, but you
Don't care, don't care. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
You need only take to the foot. Then it's summon me. Ah, I bequeath. Use it. It will some torrent has chose. Treat him with respect.
Good lord, dude. Why have you been doing that? Sounds miserable. Water fasting for 67 hours, huh? That's crazy. Yeah, I'll take your word for it. Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's why. I didn't do a long shot or whatever. Cool. Well, normally you're supposed to do a the Ash of War there, and headshot him and it one-shots him, but instead I just did a normal attack for some reason. Brain is just slightly turned off. I need to mentally reset a little bit more. Oops. Alright. So there was the flail. Here's the whetstone. Grab these guys for no reason. I just grab every mushroom that I see. And then our second, third, and fourth smithing stone, one from up here. Actually kind of reminds me that I'm a little hungry. I'll have to take a break at some point to eat a little something. Got the strength not crystal tier. Ah, yeah, it's fine. Okay. Go over to Bernal's shack. I forgot that I don't take any damage at any other points now, and when my pathing, even though I used to. Actually repairs and removes damaged cells. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. I tend to be pretty skeptical of most, like, health, like, driven, extreme actions like that. What am I doing? Right, okay. Yeah, but, like, I feel as if often there's, like, it's just, like, driven by science or something, but then it's actually not science. It's just, like, really bad papers. They're just, like, kind of making shit up. But, I mean, yeah, if it works for you, it works for you, you know? To each their own. Yeah, I'd have to read the papers to believe it.
Hello? Can you hear me? Help me. I'm stuck. Hello?
Grab these smithing stone ones. And 3 more up here.
Oh, you might. Are you here as a cousin?
And that cracked pot, and then we are back off. Got our floating tortoise up here. Grab these guys, our Trina's lilies. And we are off to get the sleep pot recipe from up here, from this graveyard up here. Grab that, I don't know, I just always grab these runes for no good reason. Other than they are here.
Is anybody there? Someone who might be
Sorry, Kenny.
rescuing the great Kenny
Don't got time for you.
servant to the true order and celebrate the true.
What was the most exciting part of my holidays? My sister got engaged, and so we went wedding dress shopping. That was pretty fun. I have never been wedding dress shopping. It was pretty fun. All the dresses were really expensive, but yeah, it was fun seeing all the different, you know, kind of stuff that people would buy and wear or whatever. And like, I think she got a good idea of what she was gonna get, even if she didn't get anything from there. That was pretty fun. Yeah, I learned one interesting fact I learned from this place is that, grab that spiked cracked here, is that it takes an obscenely long time, or you have to schedule an obscenely long time of like headroom for buying a wedding dress. Like the woman who the appointment was with was like, yeah, like for designer dresses it takes like 7 to 11 months to like actually make the dress, and then you're supposed to like give yourself a further 3 months of leeway to get the dress fitted in person. Which, like, yeah, it's crazy, right? It's such a long amount of time. I don't really get the point of like getting the designer dress or whatever
I'm angry.
if like you're gonna spend, like, if you have to get it fit anyway. Like it feels to me as if you're like buying a designer, like a dress that's made to order or whatever, then you shouldn't have to worry about any of that stuff. But whatever. I guess it's probably all a scam in some way. And yeah, obscenely long time, because I guess the advantage is that then they can charge like surcharges for like rush. Oops. Let's not do that. Pause for a second. Am I still? Oh yeah. He's still aggroed. Well, yeah, I think that designer, like, yeah, obviously like a designer shoes or whatever, like, is super scammy. But like, I think that for dresses, designer dresses are like made to order. I think. Hopefully I'm not spreading misinformation here, but I'm pretty sure that's what it means in this case. And so then like it's like not just like some cheap piece of clothing that has like Gucci or whatever. Yeah, exactly, custom made. Oh whoa, that was the first time I've ever done that skip. Every time I try, I like just like randomly try it, but I've never gotten it. But yeah, the dresses are like custom made apparently. I think that's the only way I can think of that it would take 11 months. Because otherwise, like, if it was just like a random thing, then there's no way it would take 11 months. But yeah, the what I was saying is like it's confusing to me that you have to, if it's made custom, then you also need apparently an extra 3 months for getting it tailored to you or whatever, or fit to you. Anyway, it's a mystery. Nobody knows. Or maybe somebody will know. But I think that probably what's going to end up happening is that she's going to get a off-the-rack dress, which you just get like too big or whatever, and then you get fit down by a tailor to the right size. And that's like just easy to get and much cheaper. The wedding is in spring 27. So it's quite a whiles away. And that's why like she was like, oh, I've got plenty of time to like get a dress or whatever. If she goes with, even if she goes with like the fancy dress, but I don't think she's going to, but the like woman was like, well, you're like totally fine right now, but you don't have like months and months until like you have to buy the dress. It's like soonish you should buy the dress if you need to do that, even though it's over a year away or whatever. Yeah, that was probably the highlight. I was in New Jersey, which is where my parents are. Your wife and you got married in City Hall, planned a week ahead of time. We had 2 people come. Yeah, I feel as if there's like, nowadays I feel as if there's like 3 kinds of weddings. There's like the huge religious ones, or at least in like the US, the Western world. There's like the huge religious weddings in like a church or whatever. Like some like ceremony with like friends and like a friend being the person who gives the vows or whatever, and then there's like just showing up to the City Hall. That's what my brother did. It was just him and his okay, cool. Him and his wife just went to City Hall and got married. No big deal. But that is like, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's what I would do. Oh boy. Try to jump off of the cliff. But yeah, it's totally valid to do that. It can be such a mess to do big weddings, especially if you have like family that are extra and kind of toxic or whatever. But luckily, I don't have that. supposed to have a huge Bengali wedding, but got scrapped due to COVID. Yes, that would do something. That would do that. Yeah, yeah, obviously that happened to so many people where they were just like,
Well, it's been a, how can I?
totally disappointed by COVID. I had a cousin who like was getting married and then it took like, obviously weren't able to get married in 2020 or whatever. And then, yeah, kept pushing it back, and then, yep, that's that. But yeah, huge Bengali weddings, I would assume, are even a bigger letdown than, you know, not being able to get married. Oh yeah, I wasn't gonna say much more. It was nice. It was in New Jersey, and it was a white wedding, or sorry, white Christmas. Got all confused there, which was nice. Pretty rare these days, obviously. More common when I was a kid, but yeah, it's pretty fun to see the, you know, snow for Christmas, and it was properly cold, which was nice. It feels like last year it was like 55 degrees or something crazy, or 60. All right, I've been kind of on autopilot this entire time, but I should focus a little bit for this section. Smack this little bit of the wall. Equip this guy. Crouch down. Run to the left. Ryu also in New Jersey. Alright, sweet. I don't think it snowed. Did it snow on Christmas proper? I don't think so. I think it snowed pretty much every other, like, or it snowed like a couple days ahead of time. And we're like, yeah, I think it snowed a couple days beforehand, and then it did also snow the day after. I think the snow in a lot of New Jersey, it snowed like a couple days beforehand, and then it got rainy. And so, like it melted, but like, I'm like a little bit above, oh, who aggroed to me, weird. I'm a little bit above the, like, we're above sea level, like we're in very small hills, obviously, because it's New Jersey's, but we're like a little bit in the hills, and so it's a little bit higher altitude, like a couple hundred feet or whatever, and I think because of that, the snow stayed there the entire time, which was nice. And obviously we are as far as possible north as you can get in New Jersey. Yeah, so basically what I just did there was get the beast repellent torch, which is what I'm holding right now. Grab the Dectus medallion and Radagon's Scar Seal, or Sword Seal, whatever one it is. And now we are off to Liurnia to pick up our weapon, pick up a bunch of various smithing stones and kukris and stuff like that, and get to Altus Plateau eventually. All right, through here, and then, yeah, this next section is pretty straightforward until we get to the Scorpion Shrine, or the Lobster Shrine, and the Flower Shrine to get some smithing twos. I have not played Binding of Isaac. I played a ton of Enter the Gungeon, which is just another roguelite, and I have a lot of hours in Enter the Gungeon,
No matter why don't.
but I never played Binding of Isaac. I don't know, the visual aesthetics always kind of underwhelmed me when I saw like trailers of it. And then I don't know, I just never got around to it. I've heard it's really good. I just like, oh yeah, was it me? Was it me who told you about Gungeon? Yeah. So yeah, I really like Gungeon. I think Binding of Isaac is pretty similar, but maybe like more uniform levels, more uniform like enemies, or not more uniform enemies, but more uniform like rooms and stuff. Yeah, I've heard it's really good. It doesn't super appeal to me for some reason. I should probably one of these days try it out. Surely I will, and surely this is not one of a billion games that to my ever extending game list that just all gets overwritten by Souls games. On equal footing as Gungeon. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know why. It just looks like ugly to me. Like, obviously that's just a personal preference, but like, all right. Two-hand this. I line up like so, and then walk forward. Got this grace. As always, a very honorable duel with Blackguard. Poor guy. The whole game's ugly, you like that about it? I mean, to each their own. Yeah, I probably shouldn't let that detract me. But I do feel as if I got my roguelite fill with Gungeon, and because I'm like quite good at it now, like I don't feel the need to return to a different
Could I ask that thug only if you've
roguelite. I played also a good amount of what's it called? It's another 2D roguelite. It was pretty cool levels. It was pretty good. But I just never kind of fantasy-y levels. I just never got that much into it to the extent that I got into Gungeon. Like, no, Slay the Spire is something else, obviously. What am I thinking of? I have no clue. Alright, so need to be a bit careful with this section. The lobster is facing the right way, so I'm just gonna run around very far this way. And then we've got what we needed. I'm gonna wait for the lobster to turn back around. Okay. Lobster's turned around. Stay far away from this guy. Yeah, because sometimes I have aggroed that lobster it's like sleeping. I'm not exactly sure why or how I've done that, but it seems like I must have just gotten too close to it, too close for comfort for it. Yeah, that was the fourth, fifth, and sixth Smithing Stone 2. Sounds good, dude. Now we're aiming for this shrine. Further Smithing Stone 2s. Alright, to get those things, and then immediately we fast travel out. And then run around this way to get to the final smithing stone 2s that we need. Another kind of delicate little situation here. I've never actually gotten hit by the flower, but the flower that's right behind the shrine can be a little bit finicky, and kind of what I found is that the best way to just do it is to just run up to it, grab it, and then run back out, and then it'll aggro, but not for very long. Like, you can just crouch here and, yeah. Already I can fast travel out. There are those lilies. We pick up here, and then we just head straight north so we can get to the academy passages. Alright, and then we are pretty much done with, well, we're done with the main part of Liurnia. We just need to head up to the lift, and then we are completely done with Liurnia for the entire run. Another 10 minutes of setup, about a little less than 10 minutes left of setup, which is nice. Hello? Weird. The prompt just disappeared, and I pressed Y, but I just didn't go through. Alright. Now we're just going to stick to the left over here for this entire section so that the knights don't aggro. And then, yeah, especially this guy up here. He can't see me from here. Never mind. Totally can see me from there, but managed to avoid aggro anyway. I usually go a little bit lower down, I guess. Doesn't super matter anyway. Can't really catch up. And stick to the left some more over here. Oh, I should definitely have this out. Cool. Stick to the left over here. That avoids the aggro of the trebuchets over there. And then run through here, and then grab this rune arc, which is super important for the rest of our run. And then, cool. Super foggy. I don't know if I've looked up when it's been foggy. Looks pretty cool. Looks pretty foreboding. Oh wait. Okay. Adding to the queue a new song from one of my friends who just got released, apparently. Heist. Go stream them now. Heist the band. Alright. Grab this Grace. Alright, and I stick to the right of this little pathway because that way the oh wait, I unload fire. That way the archers can't attack me. Oops. I did not go too far. I'm all disoriented. Alright, it's up this part that I hike through. Charge right through here. Grab this Grace. And all that's left, really, of the setup portion before DTS. There's... Honestly, although this section is called Setup, in reality, probably the entire section up until Margit should be called Setup, because you don't actually have to really fight properly anything until then. But this is kind of the last section, the last real part of the setup. The thing marked as setup. And it's just getting this smithing stone bell bearing. So yeah, unsheath R2 there, staggers him, and then you can just get the riposte and it's totally fine. Run through here. Whatever. He aggroed. Kind of half-heartedly crouched there to see if he didn't aggro to me, didn't see me, but now he all sees me. But really doesn't matter. Alright, kind of done with setup now. Just need to make our way to DTS and then we'll be officially done. Just one last little running section that's super... I mean, most running sections in this game are chill. But one more running section that is chill. I just stick to the right here on these little pillars so that the gargoyle just doesn't aggro to me. I wonder why there's like lava or magma like... slugs over there in this section. What's the lore reason for that? Oops. Why did I do this? I don't need golden seeds, and yet I insist on getting so many of them because they're just on the path. I don't need that race. What I do need, however, is these runes and these mushrooms. And then, yeah, I have to be a little bit cautious here because I have had it happen where somehow an arrow was shot and it just landed here, like as soon as I came out. Maybe it was from the guy in the back, but it's really weird. So you probably should be fast on dismounting as for the iframes if you happen to get targeted by the golems. But yeah, they're still aggroed. One of them is aggroed. One of them always gets aggroed for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. It doesn't seem like they should, but whatever. They lose the aggro pretty fast. Now they're, as you can see, they're pretty out of it. All right. Yeah, nobody's aggroed now. Oops. Let's get this. Grab that lily. All right, and we are done with setup for realsies now. Now our first... Okay, done with the section entitled setup for realsies. So let's just mark that. If I can. Okay, I did do it. Cool. Let's make sure we have everything we need. We need... Don't need that. Need that, we need that, and we need that. Okay. Switch to this. And then as soon as he starts looking at me, we turn around and then start walking and just maintain this distance. Around this distance. And as soon as he passes that birch tree, run off. We'll come over here. Oops. Okay, well, that's annoying. I didn't walk. I must have not let him get close enough to me. Basically, you want this guy, the DTS, when you get over here, to end up somewhere like over here-ish, and he only made it to here. So I'm just gonna restart. It's a bit of a time loss, but whatever. Just gonna reset the fight. Okay. Try that again. So again, run to here. I think I maybe was a little bit too far for it to actually work well. Yeah, definitely. There you go, that's more like it. All right, so I aim for somewhere around here. Then aim for this vertical line on that rock. Back up a little bit, and then aim very high and very left on this guy. Like further than you would expect. Nope, that was a little too far. Okay, well, I'm clearly messing that up a little bit. I'm gonna have to get some more kukris, or one more kukri before continuing, but it's fine. Yeah, you want him to be making that, and before he sees me, perfect. Actually, that was not perfect. It was a little bit off. I adjusted a little bit. It's supposed to look so that he does like a shimmy to the right before starting his startup animation, and I kind of was a little too slow. to attack him, but it's not a super precise art, so it's totally fine how it ended up being. Oh, that's not where I wanted to go. Instead, I want to go here. Okay, wait, DTS is done. Cool. I'm just gonna get to Fort Gale North before doing anything else, just so it's a little bit, I don't know, one more thing to do before I have to go to the round table. Alright, sit down and we go off to the round table.
Figure to determine if you had. It seems torrent, whereas I may. There is, but I can take gathering play. Very. Let my hand rest upon you for but a moment.
Oof. Forearm is a little tired. Alright, what else do I need? Right. Up next is come here, offer this, and we want to buy 12 threes, 12 fours, dagger, the rapier, the finger seal. That's it. Next up, we don't need this Uchi ever again. And we do need that.
You're no matter. Lay out
And we upgrade our Iron Ball, which is basically the weapon that we're going to be using for the entire run. And next up, Fort Gale North. And we're gonna get Flame Grant Me Strength. To do that, we need to pass time to Nightfall. We need 15 Faith. Get as much strength as we can. And actually, I'll be right back. All right, that is taken care of. Let's make sure I can see that and can see that. Okay, cool. Add charges, unnecessary number of charges. Cool, and then allocate, so we have a few blue. And I'll do one more. Perfect. And then, what time of the day is it? Okay, it's still well into the night. Okay. Grab this up here. Because it's night, we can just run around these guys without aggroing them. And most importantly, that archer. If that archer aggroes its curtains, because of his rain of arrows attack, which is super fucked up. Okay. And to deal with these flame chariots, we just walk into the wall very slowly and make our way to that. Okay, and then that's all we need to deal with Bernal. He's up next to kill. Oh, I guess I probably should have. Whatever. Okay. No worries. Let's throw Golden Vow on that. Memorize that. Put on the tiers that we want. And that's it, I think. Yeah, so we don't need that. We want that to be there. We want this. We want this. And we have those all activated. And do I have the correct? Nah. Okay, so we want the axe talisman on. Okay, cool. So, Golden Vow, Flame Grant Strength, drink, and our balls. Stand right behind him. Charge Dart 2. Charge Dart 2. GG's. Cool. That was that. Up to Altus Plateau. And so we can talk to Raya.
I've been waiting. I knew you. I hereby take my hand. If I will pray.
Okay, and from this we get Assassin's Gambit, which is our main stealth asset during this entire little section. So that's chill.
Brave, I am Tanit Rias, a warrior. Perhaps you are. Will you join us? Why accept rise with us?
Join Volcano Matter. Chill.
But be sure.
And then back to Lost Grace, where we get Assassin's Gambit. Okay, cool. Still night, so we don't need to pass time again. And here we buy Assassin's Gambit. Oops, we're gonna need some more cash. For Bernal's bell bearing, and then grab the Assassin's Gambit. Fort Gale North. And here we get, whatchamacallit? Wait, I need to actually equip Assassin's Gambit. Here we're gonna get our main Ash of War for our weapon, which is Crack Blade. What am I looking for? Right, Ashes of War. Equip the rapier. And there you go. feels like you should be able to use certain Ashes of War on horse. Like in the same way that you can use certain spells. I don't really see why you can't. It's a bit weird. Notably, like, Assassin's Gambit seems like it should be really easy to just get off. Or not get off, but use it on horseback. Okay. Two-hand these guys. Bye, sir. We apply Assassin's Gambit, crouch. Run through here. And yeah, for this section, you need the combo of crouching, Assassin's Gambit, and Knight for the stealth to work. Otherwise, this guy's gonna aggro to you. I don't really... I know Gino always gets this on his route. I don't really know why. I mean, he uses it instead of the Scar Seal, but I just use the Scar Seal the entire time when I have the option. There must be some reason. I probably should use the Strength instead, but it just doesn't... The AR doesn't change, I think. When I just use whether I use the Scar Seal or the Strength Talisman. But obviously the Scar Seal gives you more stamina and such, stuff like that, so I just end up going for that. But probably there's some reason why Gino uses the Strength Talisman. Yeah, I'm sure it's just kind of up to you which one you use. It doesn't make a huge difference. Oops. A little too close there. Oh. Weird. Usually they see you. Okay, over to Gatefront. Now we are off to actually kill Patches. Yeah, Ash of War, Backblade, cool. The moon's quite pretty, although it kind of looks like the Death Star with the X and Y axis that you can kind of see. Like those trenches there in the New Hope or whatever. Alright, so grab this Grace so that we can use it later on. And just, oops, go down right here, and just hike off this thing. Stay to the right. I'm a little confused about how I get damage there. It doesn't really matter, but it seems like I shouldn't, because I come to a full stop on one of the ledges, but I still get damage. Okay, you can see from, because I can't use my torrent, that we are getting invaded by a Nera juice. I immediately just start running back, and then oops, they just return to their world. So, whatever. Very chill way of dealing with Nereus. Right. Gonna use Ambit here. Run through here, stay to the right. Go through. And then, I'll just get rid of this for now. Cool. Golden Vow. Cragblade. Drank. And gave me strength. Drink. And then 2-hand.
All of it. Wait, please.
Sorry, pal. Okay, that's patches. And that is actually all of the setup done. Oops. Cool. Now we can start fighting some bosses for real. Okay. But first, obviously, we need to buy the thing that we killed patches for, e.g., or I guess i.e. the shackle, target shackle, and then off to Stormwell Shack. Gambit, and then just run behind this guy. He doesn't know anything about it. And then, yeah, we have Cragblade, we have all of our buffs that we need. The only thing we need to make sure to equip is not that, but the Shackle. Yeah, Golden Vow, Cragblade, this is our usual order of buffs. Flame grant me strength. Drink. 2-hand our Cragblade, and then run forward a little bit, target Shackle. Charged R2, charged R2, charged R2. Take the riposte, and easiest boss fight of the run. Second easiest boss fight of the run, after the Golem. Although, I guess the lead up to the Golem is much harder. Yeah, very chill, very easy. Talk to this guy. No, I'll use the main gate. And then make sure that he actually does that. I'm just gonna grab this Grace and level up. I guess I'm gonna pass time again so that it's night once more, because I spent some time fucking around before, like during nighttime. Yeah, also gonna level up so that if I have to Memory of Grace, I don't lose all those levels. And we don't need those. We do need this. We don't need that or that. I guess we need that. Okay, again, we need it to be night in order to do this strat. Just crouch, run through here. Reapply. Oops. Don't need to backstep. Stick to the right here. And the ballistas won't even know you're there. And then, yeah, you can just run through here. Stay well clear of the lion on the right. And we're just gonna grab this Grace for later. And, oh, haha. Good thing I didn't forget that. I just remembered that I need to grab another Kukri because I accidentally missed 2 of my throws on the DTS, embarrassingly. And we need 2 Kukris for this next section in Stormveil. But luckily, I happen to know that there's Kukris here, and I can just do that, and we're good. Sweet. Good thing I didn't forget that, because I would have had to Memory of Grace, and that would have been just... I mean, it wouldn't have been a big deal. It just would have been kind of annoying. Now we have plenty of... Oh, and I forgot to do that. Oops. Forgetting all sorts of stuff today. I'm just gonna rest again. We need to Assassin's Gambit before we venture out into that hallway. Stormveil does look very dramatic in the night with those banners blowing and all that. Crouch. Reapply Gambit, or up here. And then you have to be pretty fast here. Let's make sure that I actually have that equipped. Okay. Apply again, crouch, run up to this little tree that you can barely see. Reapply. Now we want to two-hand our bow. Aim for right here. Kukri. Aim right here. Kukri. And then start running. Duck into here. Listen for that sound, the sound of the ballistic going off, the flaming ballistic going off. Run through here, and then reapply. Very chill, but a good number of... It's pretty time sensitive and a lot of inputs that you need. So I guess not actually chill. Very consistent, I should say, but you just need to be a little bit careful. Okay. Don't need that. Don't know why I picked it up. All right. That's that running section. Oh, and I never updated our... There you go. That's better. Never updated splits. So reapply Gambit here. And you don't need to crouch or anything. Here, you can just run through. Yeah, my last run, Godric was incredibly scuffed. Surely it will not be so this time. Okay, we need our dagger, we need that. We do not need that or that. And we do need that. Or we don't need it, but we'll make our life easier. And we don't need this. Okay, Golden Vow, as per usual. Let's just drink here. Cragblade. Thing grant me strength. We're not going to put it on quite yet. Just put it on here. Drink. That was incredibly close and poorly done. That was really bad roll, or jump, or whatever I did. That's fine. Very chill. Much better than last time, but still not the, you know, cleanest Godric. I need to... Or, I don't really need to practice him. I haven't really gotten hit, but yeah, that was a really bad jump or roll. I don't remember on that second ground slam that he does. Okay, with that, we are off to pick up the... What's it called? Godric's Great Rune. And I need this. just run to the right here with Assassin's Gambit applied and you're totally fine. Reapply Gambit, crouch. Oops. Yeah, just run through. I don't actually know if... I don't think Gambit is doing anything here the second time that I apply it. Hello? I don't need this for the rest of this section, I think. Alright, let's use our Remembrance. I'll use this huge 4 Rune ones. Anything that I'm missing? I don't think so. Grab the Great Rune. Oops. And then back to Table of Lost Grace, and we are gonna get Roger's Rapier before we forget, because I've definitely forgotten that before.
Please
just
just
died.
name's Roger, but now I had a little mishap, as you might guess. It.
Okay.
I'm privy to it. Would you care to look? Time can move. A little conversation.
Just defeated Godric.
Well done. Something to mark.
And then up to Altus. And now we can level up and such. We can activate that Great Rune we just got. And level up a bunch. Sweet. I think that using those 4 Rune 1s brought me up a single level. Or like brought me over the threshold for a single level, which is kind of funny. I should make sure to use that before I forget. Cool. We want that equipped. Okay. Golden Vow, as per usual. Cragblade. And grant me strength. Physic. 2-hand, and we are through. Aim for this left knee. Walk forward a little bit. Charge R2. Charge R2. Very chill. And very easy fight. Not really a fight, I guess, if you're being honest. And we are off to Radahn. Put on that talisman we just got. Just gonna level up one more time here, because why not? It's a good idea. think that's everything still. I'm still all set up.
Champions!
Time to start the festival.
The stars have aligned. The festival.
I have memory of graced out of this fight a good number of times, just because based on the opening. But it's, if you get the right opening, it's not the hardest fight ever. It's pretty scripted. I mean, most of these are all, pretty much every fight in this, except for maybe Goldfreeze and Godric is clearly scripted. But Radahn isn't quite, because he has a few openings he can do. So I just sent that up in case I do have to end up resetting. Okay. So as soon as we are transported, we're spamming back and get on our horse, and then sprint back so that he gets out of our render distance. Get off our horse. Golden Vow. Cragblade. What am I doing? Oops. Sure I have time. Kind of messed up the buff sequence there, but he was very favorable with his opening attack, and so it was ended up being fine. But yeah, definitely not ideal. You're not supposed to two-hand the seal so that you immediately lose your Cragblade. But all's well that ends well, I suppose. We should make sure to get the what's it called? The third talisman pouch before we forget. First level this up. Cool. Off to the talisman pouch.
Only fine. You have now to become the thing as
And then back to the capital, and we are allowed to go in now. Hello? Super necessary horseback section. Okay. Up here, we're gonna want Assassin's Gambit once more. And before I forget, let's throw this guy. Yeah, like... yeah, it's even lower AR. Because I guess we get a little bit of dex too. Yeah, weird. Maybe it's because we get Faith and he doesn't get Faith for a very long, for a much longer time that Gino uses it. And so it changes up the scaling a little bit. I don't know. Grab this Grace. Purely cosmetic Assassin's Gambit, I'm pretty sure, because these guys protect you anyway, but I don't know. I just always use it for probably no good reason. But like can you do? Okay, run up this way, behind this guy, and get that rune. Reapply Gambit. Jump through these rooftops. And we're back where we were about, well, almost back where we were about an hour ago. Or whatever, an hour and a half ago. This time, hopefully, Goldfrey will not completely destroy us. Okay. Oh, I forgot there was a... Okay. I don't seem to have aggroed anybody. I'm gonna reapply this. Cool. That's kind of stupid, but what can you do? Okay, now I've aggroed somebody. I wonder who. Anyway, okay, aim for this guy, then miss the jump. Ugh, that's so annoying. Oops. Man, I've never missed that jump except for this attempt and the attempt before. My previous attempt. Super weird. Super, super weird. Now it's daytime. Damn it. Okay. Oh, and it just gets worse and worse. More and more time wastes.
Most for bringing here, and thus I shall depart. Farewell. I shall leave Torrent. I wish you luck. I have no.
Cool. Okay, let's try that again. Purely cosmetic. Assassin's Gambit. Well, this time, that's weird. I aggroed a little bit later. So confused. Ooh. That was kind of scary. That was kind of scary. Huh. That bubble, like, chased me. I've never been... I think it could have hit me if I hadn't turned really sharply. Like, I saw it coming, and I turned really sharply left. But, you know, in the tens of times that I've done this, that's never happened before. That it's actually come close to hitting me. Super weird. Super unexpected, I should say. I wonder if I should just, like... Maybe in future runs I would... just, instead of taking this back way, just use the, more straightforward, way that, like, involves distracting the Erdtree avatar. But this is, like, it's been consistent until these past two runs, where, yeah, so that's what was supposed to happen. You aim for that little, spike and then jump onto those little things and you're totally fine. But, yeah, something weird happened this time. Or the last couple of times, I guess I should say. All right. Reapply. I want to make sure that this guy doesn't get aggroed to, or we don't aggro this guy. Stick really far right. Stick really far right again here for that guy we just heard who just thrust his little dagger at us. Would be a stupid way to lose a run. Run through here. Stay to the left over here. Jump over here. Stay in front of these guys to not aggro that guy. Reapply. Stick behind these guys. And then we are now actually back where we were on our last attempt, where we got hit to Gold Freeze stops. Okay. Golden Vow. Crack Blade. Think grant me strength. Drink. And focus. Wow, that was really scuffed fight. I think I did pretty well actually adjusting to some kind of weird patterns that I got. Yeah, not super ideal, but I'm pretty happy with how I dealt with that, honestly. Hello? Okay. And, oops. Sweet. Okay. Oops. Okay, for this part, pretty consistent way to deal with this assassin, and that's just don't run, you just walk or jog, I guess. Just jog behind him and you're totally fine. Turns around, doesn't see you. Yep, very chill. Okay. And then next up is Golem, which is Golem itself is not hard, but this is the hardest running section for me, at least. There's just a lot of kind of weird stuff that could happen that could fuck stuff up. But it should be pretty consistent. It's just, yeah, I've messed up on this place before. Stick left of all these giant, oops, weird hitbox on that. These giant lion squids. And then, okay, we need that for sure. We need this. And that's kind of it. Okay. Now we use Gambit up here. Run all the way around here. Assassin's Gambit once more, and then this is the finicky part. That was a little bit early for my jump. It should be, it's yeah, you just have to avoid, for my roll, you have to avoid that, that wolf, and it can be a little sketchy. And then, yeah, apart from that, after that you have to do that little jog, you have to sprint off of that, that ledge onto that pillar, and then sprint to do a jump off of that pillar onto the platform. So yeah, you can see how that can very easily, especially if you're nervous, mess some stuff up. Okay, our normal buff thing with the addition of Assassin's Gambit right before we go through, for it will clearly become apparent very quickly, namely that we can, even though the health bar appears, the boss is not aggro. So you can just crouch all the way around the arena and then very easy kill. That's the easiest kill, even though the run up to that is definitely not the easiest part. Okay. So that's that. I want get rid of that now. Now weight matters, so we get rid of everything that we can when we can. Because we're going to switch that for that. And we want our shackle available. And I think that's kind of all we need. Cool. Okay. Whoops. Okay, Golden Vow, as per usual. Ragblade, as per usual. Then get me Strength. Wonder Physic. Two hand, make sure that we have our shackle up and active. Go forward a little bit. Charge R2, charge R2, charge R2. Recover a little bit of stamina. Take the riposte. Charge R2. Charge R2. Very chill. I probably should have taken these guys off, but not a huge deal. And also, I think I should have unlocked from looking at them, because sometimes I have whiffed the charge R2s after the riposte, and it's fine because there's so much time, but yeah, probably better to be safe than safer than sorry in this situation. And I should probably do that. Cool. Up to...
Hello again.
Up next is Fire Giant.
Allow me, you are unable to prevent a thorn, a husk, the only way to become my purpose. So I'd like to the flame then and guide you.
Cool. Let's level up.
Share them with me. Your thoughts.
Just a little bit.
Your ambitions.
There you go.
The prince.
And then let's get all the way up to, we're back here, the East Capital Ramparts. And we need this again. Assassin's Gambit. And we're off again. Gambit again. Jump. Jump. Our usual. Okay. And we're off to Fire Giant up next. Yeah, should be pretty chill. I have lost a run twice on this section, but on the run to Fire Giant, the entire section. Got hit once by the scream of the Blackblade Kindred on the way to the rolled lift. I had dodged it before. Like, there had been other times where I had seen the scream and I had just dodged it, but I just didn't dodge it. So now I have learned to just get the Grace to the right of, or right before rolled lift and rest there so that I just don't have to deal with the Kindred at all. And then the other thing is, the other play time I got hit was by the, what's it called? By the Fire Prelate. Right before the chain. For a very long time, I just stealthed and ran past him. And he aggroed, but I was like, oh, it doesn't really, but like, it doesn't really matter because, like, it doesn't make a difference, right? Except it does because he has his head fireball attack, which completely screwed me over. I mean, it didn't screw me over. I screwed myself over, but still, it was. I got hit from the back with that fireball attack. I did get. Just making sure I got all the stuff that I needed to. I actually don't want it to be night for this section because I don't want to deal with the Knight's Cav. That's the end of this section. And past time till morning. Oh, should be fine. All right. Flying through this section. Avoid all these little pesky, annoying guys. Something. I forget what they're called. I wonder if I should, like, assassin scam at any point through here to just avoid all these guys. Oops. Like, for example, that guy. Okay, and then, yeah, like I said, I've been hit by this guy. I'm gonna try to, you know, not get hit by this guy. Okay. Should be fine now. Perfect. Okay. Very chill. Yeah, and that one time I got hit here, I was just like running up here and it screamed, and that's all she wrote. I don't need this shackle ever again. Ooh. Almost forgot to put Assassin's Gambit. Otherwise that bird's gonna fuck me up. Cool. We need that to upgrade our weapon, obviously. And let's use this and use this. And then offer bell bearing, and then need 12 of those and 12 of those. Then, yeah, we're gonna actually need those. Never mind.
Those eyes of a challenge, find them well.
All right. Our weapon is upgraded, and then we are back at Zamor Ruins. And let's just apply Assassin's Gambit, might as well. While we run around these guys. And yeah, it's important so that we evade aggro from the Warhawk that's somewhere up here. I can come down from above and just really fuck you up. That guy up there even, also. Okay. Now, Assassin's Gambit, and the way that I do it is that I hug this cliff to the left, and then aim for this little gap, jump for it over here. And yeah, nobody's aggroed. Super chill. I am going to reapply Assassin's Gambit. And that's just so the golem up there behaves in a very predictable manner. Wait until he shoots there, and then yeah, we can just keep running. I always keep my eye out. Yeah, basically he's gonna shoot into that pillar. Totally fine. Alright, and up here I just throw on Assassin's Gambits for the archers that we're going to encounter a little bit further up on the chain that we end up on. Or not chain, bridge that we end up on, the invisible bridge. Those guys up there. Otherwise, they will aggro to you. Here we aim for, maybe I don't usually do this. I think this is probably a smart thing to do. So reapply Assassin's Gambit. Now we aim for that little ledge. Very chill skip. Land on it and then can immediately double jump again. Yeah, I think this is definitely the way to go. Because usually all those guys go crazy. They like aggro and I'm stuck with that for a very long time. I think I should just keep applying Assassin's Gambit throughout this entire section. That way none of the enemies will be any the wiser. Yeah, you can just run through this entire section, just being a little bit careful of not coming too close to any of the enemies, and they won't aggro to you. And then up here, for this entire section, I kind of just stick vaguely to the left, try to avoid the hands that you see. The only kind of important part is that up here, oops, it doesn't really matter. That up here, you stay to the left, and the hand turns around and just faces the other direction and never sees you. Grab this Grace, and before we go kill Fire Giant, we get our Ancient Dragon smithing. So yeah, apply Assassin's Gambit right here, and then you can just run through this area without worrying about the crows. I mean, obviously stick far to the left, but yeah, you can just jump through here. And then, yeah, that's it. And now, next up is this guy. Let's make sure that we actually we are leveled up all the way that we can. Okay, we're not. Oops. Okay, and then let's craft 6 of these guys. Have everything we need. Get rid of this. Okay. Next up is Fire Giant. Not too hard, but timing's a little important, so I'm gonna have to focus here during this section. Okay. I do this, and actually for this one, I do Flame Gravity Strength next. Then Crack Blade. And then my Physic. And then finally re-drink. And make sure that I'm two-handing my Iron Ball so that I don't have to deal with the Crack Blade going away. Fame grant me strength. Oh boy. No, you idiot. 1, 2. Okay, I need to reset that, unfortunately. Totally my fault. Okay, let's think about this. We should be fine. I'll try doing that again. Okay. The only problem is that we don't want to lose. It should be fine. I'm talking to myself. Yeah, I didn't have the sleeping pots equipped, and I didn't have time to put the fire giant to sleep. That'll come pretty apparent here. I'm just hoping that the setup is not dependent on this whole thing. The aggro starting here. Okay. Now we have sleep pot, and it would have been totally fine if I hadn't actually tried to drink. Strength. I have the correct thing lined up. 1, 2. Clean. Okay, good recovery there. I messed up a little bit first phase, but not hugely. Yeah. Pretty chill. Okay, I need to go into the bathroom real quick, but I will be right back. All right. And do I have, let's see. Oops. Well, that should be plenty for, okay, that's totally fine for, Godskin Duo. Hello? Cool. And then we want to level up our strength some more. And also use our remembrance, Fire Giant Remembrance, to get some more runes. Cool. Oh, I need to talk to Melina. Alright, cool.
I have long observed the lines between this world and death. Are you prepared to commit?
Yep, sure am.
Let my hand.
We need our Gambit again. All right. This guy. Aggro him. He jumps over here because we smashed that little piece of rock. And just, yeah, run through, stick to the left here so that this guy doesn't see you, but he doesn't really see you. Run with this along this guy. Don't bother with him. All right. Assassin's Gambit here. Crouch through this section. Reapply Gambit. Then just straight up run from here in between these two little guys to the right here. And just avoid these guys. And then you're good. Stick behind him. And then through here, stay behind. And I think we just can just go through. And we let this guy fully pass before going through behind him. And then jump through. And let's reapply. Launch 2. Make sure. Okay, cool. So drink this one pretty quick here. Drink our blue. Get rid of this. We want Golden Vow. We want Cragblade. We want Flame Grant Me Strength. We want Wondrous Physic. And then charge our 2. I do Flame Grant Me Strength here. And Cragblade. And then, as soon as this guy starts getting up, you start attacking. Just do a bunch of charge R2s. Cool. Don't really need to do all of this again. Yeah, I'll do Flame Grant Me Strength again. And it's the exact same pattern, so Charged R2, R1, 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 Charged R2. Very clean. Nice, pretty chill. And now we get to upgrade our weapon fully. Offer those, and then 12 of these, 12 of the 8s. And then we go off to fully upgrade those. And I think that's the last time that we are finished, or that we have to touch the round table. Cool. And we can go up to here. I want that. Smack this. Crouch through here, stick to the left over here, reapply, crouch, and then just go behind this dog and you're totally fine. Reapply our stealth, and yeah, we're gonna want to stick to the right over here. Probably crouch, whatever. I actually don't think it matters. I think that he's gonna aggro no matter what, but if you stay to the right, you're fine. Oh, apparently it doesn't aggro at all. I guess I will do this just in case I have to somehow reset. Okay, stay here. Now we want to stay to the right. And then jump and avoid everybody. Perfect. And then we want to stick as far to the right as possible so that we don't aggro this person that's just directly above us. This bird that's directly above us. And run this way. Ooh, that was a little bit close for comfort. You're kidding me? Bummer. Alright, see y'all